Good morning. Wow, thank you so much for your warm welcome. My name is Takayo, and I am very happy and grateful to be here. It's really nice to see everyone. So welcome back, and we're also excited to relaunch the Sunday service. So thank you so much for being here. Yes, so today we want to I want to start with a simple question. If you can share with someone sitting next to you this question, what is your favorite season? So there's 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter. So share with someone next to you, what is your favorite season and why? So just take a minute. It's here. Okay, so sorry, that's a short time. Hopefully you had a chance to share, but just can take some time to wrap up your thoughts and why you like that season. So who in here likes spring? Raise your hand if you like spring. Wow. How about summer? Oh, and autumn. And how about winter? Yes. Wow. Great. So, yeah, actually, like our family here, spring is the most liked season, generally speaking. And yeah, what are some reasons why, for those of you who like spring, why did you say you like spring? You can just shout out your answer. Everything's reborn. New life. Green. Get to play outside. Yeah, that's very true. I oftentimes spring is associated with new life, rebirth, new beginning, and hope. True Mother, Mother Moon, in Korea, she also, in the beginning of her message to the family members, she started out with the question, which is the best season that you like? Or which is the season you like most? And then most people said spring. And then she asks, why? And then a lot of people said, well, it's warm, or because new life is born, like a lot of us. Some people said because that's when the Father and Mother Moon had their holy wedding. And Mother says, yeah, that's true. But she answers the reason why spring is the most significant is because it is a season when your wishes can come true. And then she says, depending on what you wish for. But anyways, so today I wanted to speak on the topic of spring. In the Bible, in the Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11 to 12, I hope you can read it. It says, for behold, the winter is past. The rain is over and gone, except for in LA. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. So yes, spring is indeed a time of hope. And today's message, or today's title is Welcoming the Spring Season. So in order to welcome the spring season, we need to actually properly go through the winter season. And winter, as it was in this audience, in our family, is the least favorite season. Oh, yeah. But Father and Mother Moon says, "Do not be proud when spring becomes summer. Do not weep when summer becomes fall. When it becomes winter, do not die." Only when you experience winter can you appreciate spring. So winter, why is, I guess for those of you who said you like winter the most, you probably would understand the message that I'm trying to give. But for those who don't like winter, most people say it's because during the winter time, it's cold, it's dark, you experience despair, you're trying to survive through the cold or through whatever you're experiencing. You feel lonely and you feel dormant. But actually, winter is the time that we need to see as a time of reflection, self-reflection. We need to be patient because spring is coming. And it's a time of preparation, actually. And also, when we talk about seasons, we think of farming, or for me at least, it's associated to flowers growing and crops, and then you harvest them, and then wintertime is the time when we think farmers would just get lazy or take a rest, but actually wintertime is the time where farmers get to work, get to real work, and they prepare for the springtime. So in a similar way, we also need to think of this winter time as a time for us to prepare and welcome the spring season. So the question is, how can we prepare ourselves in this time of winter to welcome the spring? And there are, I guess, 3 things that I want to highlight. They're all going to be in this next slide. But the first one is to recognize that we are in winter. And then number 2 is prepare for the new beginning. Prepare to make a plan in order to, number 3, take action. So for the first one, we all understand that throughout the year we experience all 4 seasons. Winter, spring, summer, fall, or autumn, and then on and on. But also, it's not just once a year that we experience this time of winter, or spring, or summer, or autumn. In our own life, we constantly go through the different seasons and experience as we experience really difficult, harsh times, but also when we experience the up moments in our life, the happy moments, the times that we want to cherish. So if we don't recognize what season we are living in our life, what season we are going through in our life at the moment, we don't know how to prepare. If we're experiencing the winter time in our personal life, we want to know that, yes, this might be a time of hardship or challenge, but we have hope because spring is coming. Nature is great because it never fails us. There's never, LA is really interesting because we really don't experience the full winter or the full, the changing of the color of the leaves. But generally, nature never fails, and there's always, it always follows through. So spring, summer, fall, winter. So yes, the first point, we need to recognize where we are at in our life. And the second point is to prepare. So once we know where we're at, we know where we're going, we can make the right preparations. And yes, there's a quote from Abraham Lincoln. He says, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." So, kind of similar to this quote or this kind of expression that Abraham Lincoln is sharing, there is a story in. Have you guys read the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Yeah, by Stephen Covey. Yeah, there is one of the habits is called sharpen the saw. And there's this guy really working hard, trying to cut down this tree with his saw. But then someone comes up to him and asks, like, "What are you doing?" And then this guy is saying like, "Oh, like I'm trying to cut down this tree with my saw." And then the other guy says, "Oh, don't you get tired just kind of working, trying to work? And then this guy that's trying to cut down the cut down the tree, is really focused on just getting the tree to be cut down, and doesn't realize what the other person is trying to say. The other person is saying, "Oh, why don't you sharpen your saw first, and then you can cut the tree down easier." But then this person is just solely focused on just going. But the point here is that when it may seem like there's no time to prepare or time to work on the most important thing, which is to sharpen the saw in order to cut down the tree. But many times we get so caught up in our challenges or our hardships or our busy lives that we don't really take time to prepare what is the most important thing in our life. And that is what Mother says as prayer and devotion. To really take time to focus on our personal life of faith, our spiritual life, taking care of our relationship with God. And so, this is what I mean when we say we need to prepare. When we face difficult challenges in our life, we tend to focus on what's the thing that's happening, the challenge itself, but we need to have the kind of faith that if I take care of my relationship with God and my spirituality first, if that comes as my priority, then God will take care of that issue that we're facing, or God will give us the strength for us to overcome the challenges that we are experiencing. Yes. So based on that preparation, we can take action, which is to actually solve the problem that we are facing, or to go ahead and achieve the goals that we're trying to achieve. And this comes with absolute determination and having the spirit of never giving up. Yes. So, I want to share an experience that I personally had recently. And I just this past weekend, or in the beginning of last week, I was at this location. This is, you heard earlier from Uncle Ernesto. This is the Chonshimwon. The Chonshimwon is a Korean term that means, I think, Garden of the Heavenly Heart. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is a place, a training center, a spiritual training center that Mother Moon established in Las Vegas, in hopes that we would go there and offer our prayers and devotion and really take priority to give ourselves unto God first. So there's a dedicated prayer hall, which we call the Chonshimwon, and there was a 7-day workshop in this place. And in the beginning, I was in that kind of situation where I have so many things going on, and I also have this sermon to prepare, and I had no mind space to even think of going to the 7-day workshop. However, the person that I work with, my leader, Dr. Ki-Hoon Kim, he encouraged me strongly to go to the 7-day workshop and have an experience and time with God. And so I signed up for the 7-day workshop, and actually I didn't go through it fully. I still had to make time to prepare for the sermon. But I spent 3 days at this workshop. And yes, I'm really grateful that I was able to take time there, because even though I've been through so many Divine Principle workshops and listened to the lectures of who is God and what we are to do in our life of faith, and how Father and Mother Moon had led their lives and who they are, this was really almost life-changing for me. And before going to through attending this workshop, I really realized this is how I recognized where I was at in my life of faith. And it's maybe externally, it seemed that I was doing well, and I can participate in many events, and I can do this and that, and meet many people, and show a smile. But I didn't realize that I was going through spiritual stagnation. Yeah, and there were times where usually how I connect to God or to spirituality is through reading God's words, and but even during that time, like, reading God's words wasn't really helping me to get any further or to feel inspiration. But I went to this workshop nonetheless, and I didn't even know what I was going to gain, and I was hesitant in the beginning, but because I still made the determination to go, and I followed through with my action, God actually helped to make me realize that, Takayo, I need you to take time for me, and take time to develop that relationship. God is seeking to have that relationship with us. And many times when we are focused on our daily life and our activities and become too busy, we tend to forget about God easily. But when we are able to go, God will do whatever it takes for us to be able to experience that new life and new hope. So I recognized, and then now I feel like when I was at the workshop, I was making that preparation. Now I feel like the fog that I had is cleared up, and now I know what I want to do in order to take action to achieve the goals that we have. So I'm really grateful for that experience. So if you had never had the chance to go to Las Vegas and offer prayer and devotion at this Chonshinmon, I encourage you to go. I've experienced it myself, and now I can say it to everyone. So it's really powerful. But anyways, that's my personal experience going through this recognition and preparation and trying to take action now. But there's someone who's always lived their life in this way, going through the seasons almost every day. And this is our Father and Mother Moon. Father and Mother Moon have dedicated their whole entire life to fulfill God's dream of creating one family under God, and creating a world where God's children can become one with God, our Heavenly Parent. And so there was a there was a time when actually Father Moon ascended, went to the spirit world in 2012, and he was leading our movement worldwide, together with Mother, but mainly Father at the front. And after Father's ascension, there was a lot of people that didn't believe that Mother could take up that responsibility and that role that Father was playing to lead this movement forward. However, Mother, understanding this principle of the seasons and knowing that her first priority is to really offer herself, her prayer and devotion and dedication to God, she spent this 3 years right after Father's ascension of preparation, and really also to honor, in Korean tradition, the 3 years after someone's passing in the family, especially the father, is a time to really honor the person that passed, honor their parents. And so Mother Moon was seemingly really quiet and not really I guess really bold or taking a lot of action. However, this was her time to really realign and to make a clear plan and strategy for how to move forward with God. And so based on this 3-year period, Mother comes out, and all of a sudden it seemed like to us, because we didn't understand what she was going through, but after that 3-year period, she became really, I guess in a way you can say she really bloomed in her leadership. And now she's really strong and clear and trying to guide the whole worldwide movement to help us understand that God is our heavenly parent and that we are His children and that we need to grow and take responsibility, not for the sake of taking responsibility and bringing results that bring happiness to God, but because God wants to connect with us as a parent wants to connect to their child. And so this is what Mother Moon is doing, carrying on Father Moon's work and legacy. So yes, Mother Moon is a great example of someone who's practiced this recognition, preparation, and then action, and then keeping absolute determination to continue and move forward. So this is Mother Moon's words. She says, "A new spring has also started for us, the new spring of Cheonyeoguk." Cheonyeoguk is a Korean phrase for kingdom of heaven on earth. A whole new history has begun with a fresh start. We have all eagerly waited throughout providential history for this culminating event to take place. We must be grateful and joyful for having the opportunity to welcome this new era while we are still on earth, and remember that we have the responsibility to live a life of practice. For farmers, spring means energetically and painstakingly plowing their fields and planting seeds in order to harvest enough crops by autumn. A farmer must take good care of his or her land in the process. Some farmers convey their love by conversing with the land within their hearts, protecting the land and fertilizing it well enough for the seeds to grow well and to produce a great yield. What do you think must be done for the seeds of life to yield abundant crops? You must bear in mind how important your missions are. Therefore, you cannot rest. You must raise every single life with a parent's heart day and night. Yes. So, not just in our worldwide movement, but also in our LA Family Church, we are welcoming the spring season. And we have a lot of hope. And that's why we're so excited and happy, because Sunday service can start again every single week, together with Saturday service. So our hope is that everyone can come back and we can really embrace each other as one family under God, and that we can love one another as brothers and sisters. So LA Family Church is welcoming the spring season. And how about you as an individual? Are you welcoming the spring season? Each person needs to make effort to welcome the spring season in your life. So it is important to really take time to reflect, see where you're at in your life of faith, your relationship with God. When was the last time you felt inspiration from a message or from God's words or from prayer? You can take time and then make preparation and action, and then we can welcome the spring season. And that's why Mother Moon really likes daffodils. Do you know daffodil? It's a flower. And sorry, I didn't put a picture up, but I wanted to read a quote from Mother Moon's book, Mother of Peace, where it talks about daffodils. She says, "Why daffodils? Daffodils are the harbingers of spring. As the first flowers to pierce through the frozen ground after withstanding the cold of winter, they herald the coming of warmth and new life. I am always amazed at this providence displayed by Mother Nature and by the strength of the sprouts that appear where snow still remains. Roses and lilies that bloom in spring or midsummer are beautiful, but I most appreciate the little daffodil, whose humble, unassuming bloom breaks the spell of the cold winter." Yes, so let's all become like daffodils. We can break through the ground with a lot of hope and new life centered on God. So spring is a time of hope, and this hope is not passive. We're not just waiting for spring to come. Hope is active. We prepare and take action. We need to find out why it is important for us to deepen our relationship with God. Why is Mother Moon offering her entire life to live for the sake of others and for this world? Why does she care so much that the 1/3 of this world's population understand that Heavenly Parent is our Heavenly Parent before she passes away? Why? We need to really think and pray and find the answers ourselves. So let's not just wait for spring to come by, but prepare it, and let's welcome the spring season. Yes? Yes. Okay. Yes. That's all I have to share. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Takayo. Please give her a round of applause, everybody, for a wonderful sermon.